Good evening, all. We, Group 11 from Section B, are here to give a presentation on the United Color of India. So first of all, as you all have heard about India, that India is a country within a countries or an ethnic amalgamation of everybody. So I want to say that it is united, but before knowing that it is united, we have to understand how diverse it is. So let's go back to history to 2nd AD. You can see that the cultural amalgamation started from the Greeks, which started coming to India, and it finally ended with the advent of Europeans. So this is the external amalgamation which I'm talking about. Now let's talk about the internal thing. So if we start talking about religion, then there are endless religions, which I can't substantiate right now. So taking something like Hinduism, Sikhism, Muslims, so there are so many people, but we are still living unitedly and happily here, and we are celebrating each other's festivals enthusiastically. So I want to pose a question to you that, is India a single country or a country within a country? So the thing is that, and another question to you is that, what comes in your mind when you think or hear about India? So let me tell you what I think. When I hear about India, then a lot of things come in my mind, like the god of cricket, Sachin, like Holi festival, like Ramzan, like everything. So many things got jumbled inside my mind. But to substantiate that, we can see that here I have classified the cultural diversity in India. It's not exhaustive, but we can relate this. So first of all, we can say that we have divided India, like actually as per perception, India is divided in race, that is Dravidians and Aryan mostly. And it's not all. It is further divided into religion. As you can see, there are so many religions. But the main thing is that India is a vast country, so there are so much geographical diversity also. For example, if a Hindu family is living in Delhi, he will be more similar to the Muslim family of Delhi rather than the Hindu family of West Bengal. So these are diversity due to geography. And because of these diversity, we are enjoying a lot of language differences, festivals, and the so delicious cuisines and philosophy. So I want to say that we are diverse but united and colorful. So I want Chandan to substantiate how colorful India is.
Hi. Well, to foreigners, India's colorful culture, its stories and its streets is like a page out of an ancient picturesque storybook. And in India, color plays a major role in symbolism. So, why are these colors very symbolic, and what are they symbolic for? First of all, there are various traditions followed by religions. Predominantly, you use a deep hue of orange in the marigold flower. This is used in almost all celebrations that takes place in the Hindu culture. And the bride is adorned with a red colored sari, and this is in the Hindu culture. So Hinduism is related to this saffron. This is the burnt precious spice that we have, and it symbolizes purity. How? It symbolizes fire, and fire cleanses all impurity. And this saffron is worn by most sadhus, and it also is adorned on idols of the Hindu gods. Coming to Islam, if you go to a mosque, the main color you see is green. You see green everywhere. Even in the movie Bajirao Mastani, it has been beautifully depicted how people uphold saffron, how the Hindu Marathwadas, they upheld saffron. And when Mastani came to congratulate Bajirao on the birth of his first son, she carries a gift in green color. And this has been put across very well, how the objection takes place. So why do Islamic people like green? It has been said that Muhammad liked this color, and he also used to wear a green cloak and turban wherever he went. And in the Quran, it is written that people in heaven, they wear green attires. So, Islam is basically associated with green color. And then we come to Christianity. Although the Bible does not associate white with any kind of predominant Christian symbolism, it has various colors. For example, black, it represents mourning, and blue represents blue in Christianity represents coolness, and white represents serenity, purity, and that is usually worn in weddings and during Easter and all that. Coming to Buddhism, Buddhism is symbolized by blue. Why blue? Because blue is symbolic of coolness and infinity. It is said that if you concentrate on this color and meditate, you'll be able to remove anger from your heart. And there is one more religion that is associated with saffron, which is the Sikhism. The gurus are mostly seen either in saffron attire or white attire. So all these are basic symbolic colors that are associated with religion. Now coming to the skin complexion. Well, people in India vary from pitch dark till shining white all over this country. So of late, men have been preferred to be tall, dark, and handsome. But I am not sure about that in the earlier days, because when you see Ram, Krishna, Draupadi, all these people were known to be black. They were known to be very dark in complexion. If you read the unadulterated versions of the Mahabharata and Ramayana, it is clearly mentioned that Draupadi is black, but this part has been taken out. It has been avoided. And how is Rama and Krishna depicted in all these serials? They are depicted as blue. Because this is mainly because people don't consider black as a very pure sign of purity and serenity. So that is what people in India they would prefer to be fair, and hence we have ads like Fair and Lovely, Fair and Handsome. And when it comes to the topic United Colors of India, we'll have to think, are these colors really uniting us? My teammates will continue about this.
Having seen the association of colors with different religions, let us try to put them in Indian context. Saffron is associated with Hinduism and green with Islam. Other religions, Christianity, in some context, blue is there and white is also there, and so on. But there is a contrast between this census data that moves from 1951, the first census after independence, to the latest census 2011. If we see, Hindu population has declined from 84.10% to 79.8% throughout these years, and this decline has been continuous. This is the proportion of population. Now, if we see same in Islam, the population has increased from 9.8% to 14.23%. And this increase has also been a steady increase, a continuous increase. Now, since this proportion has changed over the years, there is a conflict of interest between these two communities. And what has come into picture is the communal violence. Next. According to the Ministry of Home Affairs report that was issued in December 2015, this is the data for communal violence from 2011 to October 2015. there have been more than 3,000 incidents of communal violence in these years, which amounts to around 58 incidents per month, or we can say that almost 2 incidents per day. And the killings in these incidents are more than 400 throughout these years, and the sufferings, the injured people are more than 4,000. This injury and killings are for 2011 to 2014. This is also from the same report from the Ministry of Home Affairs. Now, adding to these sufferings, the economic cost of this violence adds to the suffering. Now, if we further see this report, the Ministry of Home Affairs report also shows that these 8 states, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Maharashtra, and Gujarat, which hold more than 60% of the Indian population, were the 85% of the incidents of communal violence were reported in these states. So these states which hold more than 60% of the population of India, are we moving towards the color of bloodshed as the united color of India? This is a question we need to ponder upon.
No discussion on color can be complete without discussing on the obsession of Indians with fairness. White is good, black is bad. This is an invisible code which is imbibed in most of us. Well, white and black are not to be understood in terms of the Caucasian African, which is prevalent in the United States, but it's actually different shades of the wheatish complex which most of the Indians are. Shwet in Sanskrit is used to point at purity and superiority, which shows from where we can attribute the preference for fairness. Coming to the discriminatory stereotypes, in the numerous advertisements which we have seen for fairness products, we have seen that women, the inference which we can draw is that women exist to be seen and not heard, and that you are worse off if your skin is dark. Through the ages, the higher caste people have been thought to be more fairer. The reason being that the lower caste people were supposed to work in the fields in the scorching sun, because of which their skin got dark. At the same time, rich people, again, they can afford to stay indoors and get poor people to work for them. Now let's see a video, which is NDTV social experiment.
It almost seems like it's very difficult to buy a normal day cream without being forced
Volume.
to buy cream
Start again, please.
and whiten your skin. If you don't believe me, just
Can you
take a
start
look.
again,
In
please?
this experiment, our actor is wearing a hidden camera. She wants to buy just...
Hello, this is Hirashmi Singh, and it almost seems like it's very difficult to buy a normal day cream without being forced to buy a cream which can lighten, brighten, and whiten your skin. If you don't believe me, just take a look.
In this experiment, our actor is wearing a hidden camera. She wants to buy just a normal cream, but almost every shopkeeper she meets ignores what she wants and instead offers her a skin whitening cream.
To give you fairness, like reduce your brown spot, dark spot, and give you even look.
Show me your hand. Yeah. This is body lotion or just face cream,
फेस
right?
क्रीम मैम, ये फेस क्रीम है, आपके कंसर्न को रिड्यूस करेगा, लाइक डलनेस, डार्क स्पॉट्स, इनको रिड्यूस करता है। ये स्किन को वाइटनिंग प्रोवाइड करती है, हाइड्रेशन देती है और ट्रांसलूसेंसी प्रोवाइड करती है।
White
One
beauty.
shop after the other, each one keeps offering our actor skin whitening
Well,
creams.
all is in the name.
हाइड्रेशन एंड फॉर योर ब्रांडिंग
हाइड्रेशन जैसे वाइटनिंग मतलब आपकी स्कललेस टोन होती है, अनइवन टोन होती है, उसके लिए होती है। आपके लिए वाइटनिंग की रेंज
नॉर्मल में दिखा देता कुछ वाइटनिंग के साथ है।
इसके अंदर एंटी पिगमेंटेशन के साथ है, प्लस ये वाइटनिंग क्रीम है। ये फेयर लुक देता है, ग्लो और फेयरनेस का वर्क करता है। आपको बेस्ट तो ये रहेगा,
White perfect.
व्हाइट परफेक्ट।
ये आप एक ये भी देख सकते हैं,
क्या है?
वाइटनिंग रेंज है, मतलब आपके फेस के स्टैंड पॉट वगैरह सब रिड्यूस करेगा। ये आपका बेसिकली वाइटनिंग पे वर्क करेगा। स्किन की जैसे कंप्लेक्शन डार्क हो जाता है, हम समर्स में बाहर घूमते हैं, मॉइस्चराइजिंग एंड वाइटनिंग एंड डार्क सर्कल्स के लिए है।
Now let's look at some statistics about fairness products. Okay, the India's whitening cream market was worth $432 million according to AC Nielsen in 2010. And this market was growing at a rate of 18% per year. In 2012, it was reported that Indians consumed about 233 tons of these products, which was more than the amount we spend on Coca-Cola products. Now, as we have seen that fairness products have that obvious business model, which is to make whiter skin as an aspirational quotient. Talking about the psychological implication, the youngsters with darker complexion grow up with lower self-confidence, which often impacts their professional and personal success. Well, now let's see what is our interpretation of the United Colors of India.
So in sense to what my friends have talked about, I would like to conclude by saying that India is not just about the mountains and the rivers. It is not just about the paddy fields and the desert. It is also not about the culture and its people, the festivals. Neither is it about the conflicts or the disenchantment. India is an idea that we all are working towards, an idea that encompasses pluralism, secularism, liberalism, and brotherhood. India, as a nation, of course, there has continued and still faces a lot of diverging forces. But India has stood against all of the odds and stood as a strong nation. Why? Because of certain unifying factors. Some of them are being shown here. For example, I would like to talk about the culture. The culture that brings us together. Of course, it may seem that the cultures are distinct across the states, but there are certain characteristics, certain traits, certain values that are common in all the states in India. For example, family values, tolerance, secularism. So here you see, when you look at this slide, when you see the people from all walks of life, different sensibilities and different traditions come together. Understand the difference and act on the commonalities. Here is an example when during Ramzan, because of the paucity of space, a temple has been opened up for namaz. Another unifying factor that I would like to talk about is the constitution and the parliament, more importantly, the defense of our nation. The constitution and the parliament provides our nation with representation and with equal representation to each and every one of us. It also provides a set of fundamental rights to each and every one of us. Certain factors that also unify us are the cricket culture. The cricket culture of India unifies us. Today, no matter what, we come together as a nation whenever there's a cricket match. We enjoy and we don't mind spending evenings and noons together playing gully cricket and watching cricket. Our sources of entertainment, primarily Bollywood, is also another unifying factor. It is also one of the more important soft powers of our nation. Democracy. India is the world's largest democracy, and the Constitution and our founding forefathers of the nation have given us this Constitution, which provides universal adult franchise. This has helped the downtrodden. This has helped the downtrodden of our nation to be able to uphold their standard of living. Here there are these examples right from the freedom struggle of our nation to the movements, the Anna Hazare movement, the protest for the justice for Nirbhaya stand as examples of how united we stand even and because of the conflicts that we face.
Like quite a few questions here. I'll go with him.
Hi. I didn't understand two parts. Just one confusion is you said blue in Christianity represents coolness. So I still could not understand what does coolness mean. And the second part was you said people who used to work out in fields got dark and people who used to be inside the houses got white. So I could not understand again the logic. During the years, I thought it used to be because of genetic reasons, but again, I'm still confused.
Well, let me answer that blue question. Blue, in most contexts, represents the calmness. Right? You see the Ashoka chakra. That represents. It's in blue color, so that is blue, and it's calm. It's peaceful, cool, serene, whatever.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Hello. Answer to your second question. Answer to his second question.
That was even more important, than this one, right?
Yeah, Ashish. When I have given that fact, we are not referring to the metropolitan cities and the tier 2 cities. I'm referring to the villages. I'm talking about a perception which is still prevalent that if someone is dark, okay, if you look at states like Bihar, there is still a prevalent perception that whosoever is working, he would be dark as compared to someone who does not have a similar kind of job. It's a perception. Because if someone is dark, if someone is dark, the first thing which comes up in the mind would be that he might belong to the lower caste.
Well, even if that is a perception, don't ever bring that on the stage, right?
Another question related to the same thing. So, two of your points are contradicting. One of you said that people with darker color are related to lower caste, and one of you said that our prestigious gods were dark in color. So, I found that contradicting in itself.
Prestigious gods are dark in color, and that has been hidden over time, that has been taken out of the context here, and they are represented in blue.
What do you mean by prestigious gods?
That is what he said. I'm just repeating the same word.
It is actually very sad that such situation exists, but we're not actually contradicting among ourselves. We're saying that a certain perception happens. That's the reality. And he's talking about what are the factors that are against that reality. So he's just stating the facts that are against that. So if you're saying...
Okay, just as an example to that question, like Lord Krishna, mythology states that he's actually black in color, but if you see the northern regions, he's always portrayed as blue. He's always blue in color. So that black color is trying to be hidden with his portrayal as blue.
All right. I think we'll have to stop here, due to paucity of time. All right. Give an answer to that? Okay, I think he has an answer, he says. Let me see.
Just the answer to Ashish's second question. As we all know, the sun has a lot of UV rays. So basically the melanin in the skin is produced by melanocytes, which increase on excessive exposure to sun. So
And by working condition, we are meaning the
Okay,
discrimination based
next
on
group,
class.
please. Next group, please. I'll have to stop here.
कितना बेकार हुआ अपना